You're restoring me piece by piece.
Decided to come along and put cuffs in my hands and take all that freedom away from me. I've been in jail for 5 years. What's up, my Restored Beauties? Welcome back to my channel. Before we start with the topic of today, I would like to give a shout out to someone who, well, I guess the first comment on my recent video, and her name is Gone's Girl Denny, I believe. And thank you for your support, and I'm gonna start doing shout outs either in the beginning of the video or in the end to 1 or 2 people that will comment on my recent videos. So don't forget to comment on this video once I post it, and you will get a shout out. I've been in jail for 5 years. 5 years ago, I decided to leave my teaching job because I was expecting my first child. I was so excited for this new journey. I was so excited for this new life that I just wanted to start already. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Prior to my motherhood job, I worked 2 jobs. One was working and the other one was taking a bunch of kids, 2 siblings usually, and after their school finished, I would take them to their house. I would stay with them for like several hours until their parents came from work, which was very late usually, and then I would take my bus and go home. But before that, I would go to gym like after work. I would usually finish work at 5:30, and after that I would go to work I would go to gym for like 2 hours. I was so independent. I was so like doing my own thing until someone decided to come along and put cuffs in my hands and take all that freedom away from me. So for 5 years I have been in jail, but in that jail I worked for this girl who is 5 years old now, and the worst part is she never paid me. Alright, all jokes aside, and the reality is that it's actually all true. Stay-at-home mom job, or let's just say motherhood job, because I really don't like using that term stay-at-home mom, because we don't really just stay at home, okay? And whoever invented that term, it's wrong, okay? Go and reinvent it. So we're gonna reinvent it. So motherhood job. I'm pretty sure most of the moms can relate to this, what I'm saying, and have experienced the same thing. And you won't know you've been in jail with that kid until they have gone to school, and then you start to look back and realize, wow, I've been in jail for this long because of the time you spent to raise them. And I know some of you are going to disagree with the term of me using in jail, but let me explain. Listen to the whole video and you will understand what I mean. And please don't take this wrong, because motherhood for me has been the best thing ever. The best thing that I have ever picked for my life. But motherhood is like crucifying yourself, your desire, whom you love, and they poke you with their craziness. And you can't do nothing because you love them so much. So you just hang in there until it's time for them to go to school. And when they do go to school, then you realize what you've actually been doing, because sometimes you're caught up on just making sure they're safe, they're fed, they're clean, they're well rested, you know, their needs are met, and the time flies. 5 years flew fast for me, you know, very fast, but it was 5 years. Like when she went to school, I just sat there and I realized, oh my god, I realized actually how old I am and how old I was when she came. And then I said, what happened with 5 years of my life? You know, not that I'm regretting either one of them, that's not what I mean. I mean, it just like the reality hits you, it kicks in, and you're just like, whoa, what did I do? Oh my god. Now you're like, oh, I gotta get back out there in the world and work, and you're like, well, where do I pick myself up? You know, what do I do? I need to have a new hobby, or what do I do with myself now? You just feel kind of lost. You feel like you just came from this hole and you're like, whoa, the world has moved, whoa, this place is new, or this place doesn't look the same as 5 years ago. Oh my god, you've grown. You see some people that are, you know, they were younger when you last saw them, like, you know, you're like, oh my god, what happened to me? When my daughter went back to school, I had this, I don't know, it's called, people call it empty nest syndrome. I'm not gonna call it like that. I'm just saying it felt like that. It felt like it was just empty, like, you know, I felt lonely, and I suffered for like 3 months, for real. I didn't really share with anyone, but I just like, I suffered, you know, and I still do. I miss her, but I see how happy she's with her friends in school and how much she loves to learn. And when she comes home, she's home like at 2:20 or 2:25. So I try to make the best of the time, because kids grow, they grow fast. But just because you're a mother, it does not mean that now you have to stop taking care of yourself. Remember, a car can only run if it's full of gas. And us mothers cannot survive on kids' leftovers only. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you have to know this. No one can take that away from you. And it's the greatest title you will ever, ever, ever own. But you're also a boss, an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, an artist, a baker, a painter, a teacher, a piano teacher, a realtor, a fitness coach, a makeup artist, I don't know, whatever you think that you're good at, you're that as well. You should not be neglecting your gifts and your talents just because you're a mother now. You can still cultivate those gifts and those talents, things that you're good at, things that you want to do, you know, you can still cultivate them while still being a mother or doing the motherhood job. Sorry, my nose is red because I just blew it. You have gifts inside of you that are waiting for you to use them, to feed them, to cultivate them. And maybe you have a lot of kids and you barely have time to shower. And I've been there, I understand that. I only have one kid. But you have to also understand that you are the one who makes the time. You're in control of your own time. You need to find 1 hour, 2 hours a day where you can dedicate to cultivating, developing yourself, your gifts, your talents, to developing the skills that you have, that, you know, that you want to use in order to make some extra money maybe. I left my teaching job, but I did not want to leave that passion. I didn't want to leave that passion for teaching. I didn't want it to die. And I have way too many goals and passions and hobbies, and I don't want to be 50 and be bitter because I did not manage my time well, and I did not develop those skills, those hobbies, those talents, those gifts, you know. I don't want to be 50 and then just be like bitter and look back and be like, oh, you know, blame everyone, you know, oh, I did it for you, you took my time, this and that. And that all could be true, actually. But people will take your time only if you let them, only if you allow them, you know. And I know that let's say if you're a stay-at-home mom and you think, oh, I have no time. Honestly, you do. We all do. I follow so many moms on YouTube. I've said it once, I'm gonna say it again. I follow so many moms on YouTube who have 6 to 9 or 10 kids, and somehow she still manages to put up daily vlogs. She shows these how kids all have chores and how all help with everything in the house. Don't do everything for your kids. Don't do everything for your husband. You know, don't get lost. You are important as well. Being a motherhood is the greatest thing. But if you get lost, you lose your soul, you lose your temper, you lose your patience, you grow to become bitter, you know, and you're like 50 and 60, you look back, you're like, oh, I don't know what to look back, you know. And even if you don't do any of that, even if you just raise your kids and they're safe and they're healthy and they're well-mannered kids and they have everything that they need, you still have done your job as a mother, and you should be happy and fulfilled. But my other point is that everyone is born with something special inside of them, with a skill, with a talent, with a gift. And if you take some time to cultivate that, you know, you can benefit from it. You can make extra money, or you could become someone. You know, you never know. You just never know. Okay, everyone is an individual. You don't have to get lost just because now you're a mother. You don't have to hide behind it, or to just be like, oh, I don't care, as long as my kids get what they need and they're well. And that's all true, and that's all good, and you know, it's fine. It's fine. But I'm just saying, don't get yourself lost, because you will be 50 and 40. I mean, 40 and 50 and 60, you will look back. You don't want to look back with regret. Okay, because you never know, someone might be in need of your abilities, your skills, and they will pay a lot of money for that. They will pay a lot of money. So remember to take care of yourself as you take care of others. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this short video, short topic, but I have so much that I could say about this, but I'm just gonna leave it with this. And hopefully you will be stirred to look for ways to develop your skills, your gifts, your talents, your passions, your hobby, to look for ways that, you know, it's going to build you up as well, you know, and know that you are special as a mother, and especially to those kids, to your family. But you have to understand that you're an individual separate from everyone else as well, and you need to treat yourself as well. So, and don't feel bad about it, and don't let anyone make you feel bad about it. You know, if you actually want some time to yourself, some time that it's going to help you develop your individuality as well. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe. So don't forget to like and hit the bell button. This way you're notified every time I upload. And share, because sharing is caring. So be blessed. Bye.